Just to start, I'd like to give a ton of credit to the players. It was a gutsy performance, not our best soccer-wise in the first half, but I thought showed a lot of character in what was an important game in a lot of ways. You know, we obviously had to deal with the elements just like Chicago did. I thought started the game with a good rhythm and good mentality. Tried to play at our tempo and our speed to make it uncomfortable for them. Got a great goal from Marco Fabian, and then kind of relaxed a bit. Chicago came into the game now, and we allowed them time and space, and they created too many chances. So halftime, nobody was happy, and I thought that the response, though, in the second half was an improved one. Still, not our perfect game. I would say not a complete game, but a very, the word I'll use is a professional performance. You know, in the middle of July or end of July, you need these types of wins, and you need a clean sheet, to be honest. It's been a while since we've kept a clean sheet, so for those things to happen, I'll continue to say a very professional performance from the players. We can improve on a lot, for sure, but at the same time, a big 3 points for us in a lot of ways. A couple results now you look at are going our way. So again, trying to get some separation here in the Eastern Conference. So full credit to the players on a brutally hot night, probably the hottest one I can ever remember as a player and a coach, to be honest. So for them to put their bodies on the line like they did, maybe it looked like a slow tempo from the stands, but the effort that they gave, I commend them for.
John.
Anthony's gotten increased playing time lately and awarded with a goal tonight. How good has he been? What have you seen?
He's earned it. That's the easiest way I can put it. So he's earned it with better performances from the steal. Ernst had a good talk with him, and I think that lit a little bit of a fire under him. And now he's raised his level. Every chance now he gets for minutes with the first team, he's pushing. We're going to put the best players on the field, and Anthony's been one of our best players now in training every day. So he stepped up in a big spot and scored a big goal for us. So happy for Anthony. We don't want to get too high, though, because there's still a lot of work he can do and improve, but he's given us a boost now in a couple of games. You know, the Orlando limited minutes that he got, he made the most of. Him and Matthew did. And now for him to get a big goal to kind of seal out the game and close it out was special. But every one of our homegrowns, every one of our veterans earns every minute that they get. That's the way we preach things to them, and for Anthony now to take it up a level is a credit to him as an individual player.
Against Orlando, Marco had an early goal, and
Yeah.
there was that lull. Today was a little bit of the same.
Yeah.
But did you see differences in
Yeah.
kind of how they managed that second wave?
Yeah. No, I think the goal he scores is a spectacular goal. It's a great goal from Marco. It shows you guys the game-changing qualities that he has. He's still building fitness. He missed a lot of time, so it's not going to come back natural on a 108-degree night. Doesn't help things from the fitness side of it. So we recognize the Orlando game. We dropped 2 points, and we're angry about it. But you know, I know some things that were maybe talked about this week as this being a must-win or whatever we might say. We're 2-1-1 in our last 4 games, so it's not this dire situation. It's a big 3 points, but I think that it was different from the Orlando game. I think we showed more energy in the second half. We got the second goal, and that's the sign of a good team. You know, we talked about it in my pregame talk. I said great teams respond after bad performances. After losses, great teams respond. And this team, if you look at now, every tough loss we've had this year, which we haven't lost a ton, the next result has been a very big one. In Orlando, for example, after the New York City one where I had a bad taste in my mouth. So really good response after RSL, which was a disaster, for lack of a better way to put it. The guys responded well, and again, to get that second goal is the key.
Jim, the defense first clean sheet since 19. What did you see from those 4 that maybe in past weeks wasn't there?
Yeah, look, we were a little bit shaky in the first half. We could have got punished a couple times, but Andre made a save or 2, came out on the cross and cleaned things up. It's a team effort. You know, our defending is from our front line to our midfield to our back 4, and then Andre, obviously. So, look, it's been too long since we've had a clean sheet. We're at our best when we're playing with the lead. I think you guys all know that. So to keep zeros is really important, and to get that the 0 tonight was needed, and I think it builds confidence now. Because you can see, last few games now, 3 goals, 4 goals against, it starts to weigh on guys' minds. The more they can do, and sometimes they press and try to do too much. So to get the 0, I think is a good stepping stone towards next week. But we have 2 difficult games now: Montreal, DC on the road, where it's going to get magnified even more. Keeping a clean sheet on the road is a real challenge.
Very good. Coach, every time Fabian got forward, it seemed like a lot of positive things were happening. And there's points where he wasn't quite getting there. You talk about fitness, but what's the plan to kind of get him to push forward a little more, get him more on the ball, play closer to the opposing goal?
The moments we work for are the transition moments where he's on the ball running at the back four. And you saw 3 or 4 of those tonight where maybe he didn't execute it perfectly, maybe turned it over, maybe passed when he should have dribbled, and maybe dribbled when he should have passed. So it's not perfect right now for our whole group, which is actually okay. We don't want to peak in July. I still think this group has a lot more to give, a lot more we can improve on. And we have some good pieces that are now getting healthy and coming back off of injury. But again, Marco can change the defense. Just by the goal he scores now. If you think about it now, center backs in the back line has to step out, and that leaves space for Fafa or for Casper to get in behind. So it changes everything. And the more repetitions we can get him, the more times we can put him on the ball in those transitions in the center part of the field, the better. We don't want him, like he did a lot in the first half, coming all the way back and getting the ball off of our defenders and towards the sidelines. That's not going to make a team panic. They panic when he can turn in a pocket, face the defense, his ability to shoot from 30 yards out, and then when the teams do step to him, he can then slip balls. So it's a good question, and that's what we have to do more of. We have to put him on the ball in those pockets.
Jack and John, last one.
What's it been like to play from the top of the standings this year as compared to previous years? Does it add a little more responsibility, pressure on the players' minds at all? Opportunity?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. We're not sneaking up on anybody. The secret's out. We have a good team. We're a good club. We have good young players that are brave. Our players play with confidence. We can still improve too. So again, I think it does need to be said. It's harder to play at the top because everybody wants to beat you. As simple as when we played our last 3 games, the other team's Twitter account, the first thing that comes out is Eastern Conference leading Philadelphia. There's weight that comes with that, and I think our players have navigated it well. We have to continue to build and try and create some separation because we want a home playoff game. However, we have to get that. I think our players recognize now every point's going to matter down the stretch here, but we have a target on our back now as the top team in our conference, as a team that's beat a lot of the good teams in the East already, a couple from the West as well. So we're not sneaking up on anybody, and that's different for us. We've never been in this position as a club, and we have to be brave and continue to push to try to improve.
John, last one.
You mentioned Fafa briefly. Could you maybe expand a little more on his performance tonight? He put a lot of shift in, and at least talked before about how adjusting to playing forward and 2 front has been some work for him, but he put a lot in it.
Yeah, I thought his work ethic was great. His ability to get on the ball and make the defense, backpedal, I thought was good. He always will measure success with goals, as many strikers do. But I thought that the work he did on the defensive side tonight, he was one of the few bodies out there for both teams that looked like he had a spring in his step, and the heat didn't really affect him. So happy with his performance. Made some big plays, even tracking back to get a tackle. Followed Schweinsteiger a couple times and turned him over. And all those little plays that he made tonight were big in a coach's eyes. So I know he judges himself by assists and goals, but I thought it was a really strong performance from him. I'm really proud of it.
Thanks, Jim. We'll go to the locker room now. Marco, will be first up.